Help! I'm being chased, and the only way to save myself is to explain the success, struggle, and legacy of the early humans, Mesopotamia, ancient India, China, Greece, Islam, Rome, the Americas, IOTM, aka Indian Ocean Trade Network, and the Mongols. And this got in the way. Don't worry, I'm still explaining it all. It's gonna be legend.
Wait for it.
Dairy. Legendary.
Early human success. We evolved into who we are today, at least on a physical level. From Australopithecines, can't really pronounce that, to Homo sapiens sapiens. We're so awesome that we need two names to justify it. It's because of that we can do this.
They were forced to migrate. They never really settled into one territory and were forced to follow the animals. In other words, they were nomadic. C was fire. Enough said. Mesopotamia and ancient Egyptian success. Their equality among sexes was great. It was one of the few civilizations that did this, and was really one of the main reasons why they were able to survive for very long. What's with these pharaohs? They were worshipped for no reason and basically did nothing that didn't benefit them, including the pyramids. I mean, every civilization did this, yes, but none of them sacrificed in Egypt, and I really think that's selfish. Despite it being basically a waste of labor, time, and money, they left a huge footprint, like Bigfoot big, by building the pyramids. The best ones, which are the Giza pyramids, are still standing today, which is incredible. India's success was their smart government ideas. They were well organized and contained an elite, which was a group of very powerful men, and relied on farming, which made this government organized. The caste system. That was, and still is, the stupidest thing I've ever heard. The idea that you were forced to be born into a caste never made sense, and still doesn't, even though it's legally non-existent anymore. They created two religions that still exist today, those being Buddhism and Hinduism. They still exist today, as I said before, and are very popular. Ancient China's success was Confucius. He was just a pure genius and, well, awesome. He was so awesome that up until the 20th century, all Chinese pupils studied his sayings. He also came up with the 5 constant relationships, which were parent and child, husband and wife, siblings, and older and younger, as well as older and younger friends, and ruler and subject, as all good leaders need. Their struggle was foot binding. What is that? It was a legend about someone important born like that, and so everyone does it so she could feel good about herself. But how could you even walk on that? I mean, it's got to be painful, so I really don't get what they're going with that. It was the Great Wall, the single greatest man-made structure of all time, and didn't really even work. But nonetheless, it brings China the big tourism bucks, because everyone needs money, right? Greece success came with many things that we still use today, like the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We all love that, right? They also came up with pi, which is 3.14159265389793. Well, there's too much war between each city-state within Greece. It was like 7 countries within one country fighting for the whole country. Not gonna end well. Was, well, the Acropolis, which is a pretty impressive legacy. It's the center point of Athens, and like the Great Wall, brings plenty of tourists, and well, money is money. Rome. Their success, well, they were very successful in controlling citizens, even allowing them to govern their own communities, despite how crazy their emperors were. To my next point, the struggle was the crazy emperors. One of them, Nero, literally walked in the streets and stabbed whoever he felt like. If we're discussing a natural high, that should be one. Please don't. Caligula also had people tortured in the room next to him, and made his horse consul. That horse better be one smart cookie. If ancient Rome is Christianity, which is the most popular religion in the world, and Rome helped spread it. Success was women's rights. They gave a lot of women rights. They didn't have very much back then. Well, except for the Egyptians, they gave them their rights. Like the right to own property, inheritance, and the right to divorce. Was the Islam extremists, and actually still is the struggle. These guys by no means represent the Islam religion, but have trashed the Islam reputation now, and are still doing it to this day. The legacy of Islam is, well, Islam. It's a religion that still very much exists in the present time, in the Middle East, and is still popular. Because is where we reside today. However, many successes occurred here. Ours is a sophisticated writing styles. Unfortunately, the Spanish burnt them all when they conquered this area. It's a real shame, you know? Mongols were maintaining long civilizations and empires. You hear about the Mayans and the Aztecs, but they didn't survive nearly as long as Greece, China, or India, and really struggled in that field. C was the Mayan calendar, which is the basis for the calendar we still use today. Yes, it did say the end of the world would be in 2012, but obviously that didn't happen. Did it? Okay. Anyways, it was a 365-day calendar that did include 18 months, which is a little bit too many, but whatever. The Indian Ocean Trade Network is our next one, or as I like to call it, the IOTN. It's an important part of bringing different items different places. That's the success of them, actually, as it brought different items different places. The struggle is, well, the one country that had to be the bullies, the Portuguese. They joined it, and they tried to take over. It brought more conflict and war despite the increase in trade. The legacy was the colliding cultures, and so many different countries came together and learned new things about places that they had never seen before. As Shakespeare said, to be or knit to be. Come on, are you kidding? The Mongols were very successful in conquering a ton of land in a short period of time due to Genghis Khan. He was a supreme leader with his name meaning Great One, and was a true Cinderella story rising up without any relatives or relation in the high ranks. Although that may be a great achievement, they struggled in the civilization part because they didn't really keep it going that long, as they focused way more on territory than they did their own people. As many of you know, their legacy was their conquering techniques being great, unlike my techniques in bubble blowing. This has been Crash Course with Noah Manafelt. Sorry, excuse me, I've been so much like him, I've just started to become him. Goodbye.